see if this thing. Nope, never works.
The computer.
All the cords, everything's getting burned.
What doesn't work every
Just go to
time?
Best Buy and just get a new laptop.
So it doesn't end up in stereo. So when I start it if I leave the cord plugged in, only one channel. I think it's the left channel is the only one that records. So the right channel doesn't do anything. So I got to pull it up, put it back in, pull it up, put it back in.
We call that the TED cord.
Can you call the Geek Squad at Best Buy for $99? They will troubleshoot that for you.
You know what they're going to say? Oh, I think you need a new computer.
Do you get those phishing emails all the time?
Oh, I get everything.
You get like they just billed you $499 to Geek Squad from Best Buy.
Yeah, I get all that
hilarious.
stuff. Yeah. My orders in from Home Depot.
Yeah, they did that with me, but they actually I bought something from them, and then they just like signed me up for like their service, the technical services. So they charged me like $200 for the year, and I've never used it, so it's like impossible to cancel. So with those type of merchants, like I have to call my credit card to just say, hey, just block the merchant, and then because I never had the service.
Oh, so they actually did?
Yeah, this was like they really did it. It wasn't like a phishing. Man. It wasn't a phishing.
So
email.
I tell my kids now, you have to learn this, and they're probably smarter than us, but if they just say "Dear customer," you know it's a scam right there.
Yeah.
I mean, Amazon, all those companies are going to use your name.
Well,
yeah,
actually,
hot, sexy man. That's not for you.
Actually, the way to tell, like for example, like depends on what your payment system is. So, for example, I got an email supposedly from Apple. Like they said, somebody charged like $200 on your Apple ID. So, like I just went to like my Chase account, and you can see in real time if they billed me, and there's nothing billed, so I know there's no.
Oh yeah, go in here, put in all your information. Yeah. And we'll take that $200 off, exactly. And we'll make it $2,000.
Yeah, and isn't the link always like this weird like hieroglyphic link? It's like please click on this link that nobody in their right mind would ever click on.
Yeah,
like a phishing. It's like the classic phishing.
But dude, it works. Listen, that thing from the prince in Africa and the $10 million people do it all the time. It has to work.
I get those. Well, they get like the worst grammar. You think if they're asking for $10 million, you think someone would train them to like at least speak proper English. Look, at the internet cafe when they're in Lagos, Nigeria, when they're doing that stuff. Right?
Yeah, if people are still donating to Donald Trump's fucking presidential campaign, then that stuff is working.
Here, I can give you a phishing email from Nigeria by memory. Dear my lovely, I am Ibrahim Muhammad, and I'm a refugee from the country of Ghana, and I want to bequeath you a $10 million deposit. I'm looking for phoning a friend.
Yeah, and all I need is $1,000 to release that $10 million
in order for process.
Yes. And then I always think to myself, I almost feel sad for this guy because he has no friends. He's got $10 million and he doesn't have a single friend who's got $1,000 to help him get that. Yeah, and now he has to give it away for $1,000. He's going to give away $10 million for $1,000 because he doesn't have any friends.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's the deal of the century.
And I have you, Ted. I have you as a friend.
You got a friend in me.
I knew you were going to do that.
Wouldn't it be? No, I didn't think. But I mean, that'd be nice, If I just tell Teddy I need $1,000 and I'm going to give you $10 million.
That's my parody song. I just blew it.
Oh man!
You got a Ted in me. Wait, that didn't come out right.
No,
I don't have a Ted in me.
I thought you said, "Hey, you got tit in me."
So I thought this was hilarious, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but did you read about this retirement home in Oregon, Illinois?
You're not supposed to say that word.
Oregon,
Illinois,
retirement home.
Oh, I thought you said a different kind of home. Never mind.
No, I'm not. I told you I'm not doing that anymore. But yeah, there's a retirement home in Oregon, Illinois. And they celebrated Groundhog Day by eating groundhog meat.
Oh, no, come on.
I swear to God.
It's a retirement. They didn't know it was groundhog.
No, they knew.
These old timers are eating groundhog.
They ate groundhog. That's how they celebrate Groundhog Day.
Well, they obviously didn't capture it, so whose brilliant idea was it to round up groundhogs?
Where do you get groundhog from?
Yeah, I don't even know where you get
Can
groundhog.
You even hunt those? Or is it even legal?
What do you mean, is it legal?
You can't like...
What can't you hunt?
Squirrels?
Bullshit. I got a yard full of squirrels.
You're
telling me that I can't.
We used to be. My grandma grew up eating squirrels. Her dad used to hunt squirrels all the time.
Oh, that says so much about you right now. But no, you could just go out and get a groundhog. Who's going to say anything?
What does a groundhog even look like? Does it look like a beaver? Does it look like
man, Ted, I bet you've had a lot of groundhog tacos and you didn't even know it.
You've never seen... your favorite movie is Caddyshack, dude. You don't know what a fucking groundhog looks like?
Yeah, well, but that's like a puppet.
Well,
it's like a
picture
puppet
that, but like, yeah.
I mean, now picture that, but real.
It looks like a meek rat.
Without the dancing, without the moves.
A meek rat.
Well, it's the same thing.
So, no, they are. It's a rodent. Yeah. It's just a big...
allegedly, groundhog is, and this is what they said, sweet, tender, dark, and gamey.
Well, groundhogs are also known as pig whistles. No, whistle pigs. Whistle pig, groundhog. There's like 4...
Are you making this up? What?
No.
I've never heard. No one has ever referred. You call a groundhog a groundhog. Why would you call it a whistle pig?
That's their nickname.
I've never heard of that.
A whistle pig, a groundhog, a woodchuck, and
what?
There's one other one. Yeah.
You're saying to me right now a groundhog and a woodchuck are the same thing?
Yeah.
Ted.
I'm not Googling anything. I just
No, yeah, we're not allowed to Google.
But I'm going to tell you. But
Yeah, we are.
No, I'm saying Ted and I are not allowed to Google.
But I'm going to tell you a funny beaver story. If you get a minute. So this is good. This is good. You like this? So I guess So it was either an otter or a beaver. But some guy in Russia was like messing. I think I told you this before. He was messing with a beaver that was like not near the water, but he was like trying to pet it.
You know what? In Russia, that'll get you in the gulag.
He was trying to pet it or was doing something. Well, he was antagonizing this
He was
beaver.
antagonizing a beaver?
Yeah, and so it because it's got those sharp teeth that can gnaw through wood, so it actually like bit his like thigh and like severed his femoral
They're
artery.
like fucking razors.
And he died.
Yeah.
Because he bled out.
Well, yeah. So no, here.
So he tried to molest a beaver.
He was doing something he wasn't supposed to do, and Darwin won again. That's what happened.
I love that.
Darwin won again.
So yeah, a beaver nickname is a woodchuck or whistle pig.
Oh, okay.
What the?
See, I'm a full of useless fucking knowledge.
Oh, you are full of.
Wait, isn't it that Geico commercial? How much wood can a woodchuck wood? If a
So,
woodchuck
yeah.
could chuck wood.
That is
It's
a
like
fun,
chucking
that's a
wood
funny
back and
commercial.
forth.
That's a
Yeah.
funny commercial.
Ted, you know what?
Not after the 100th time.
We saw a beaver at Tam Golf Course.
Yeah.
About 15 years ago, I was with my neighbor. He's no longer living in Illinois, so I could talk about him because they don't get us in Florida, right?
Because there were restraining orders.
Guy was a big.
Used
Well,
up, right?
he's a funny guy. So this fucking beaver comes out on the ninth hole there, and he's on the path, and he stops. He goes, "What the fuck is that?" And I looked at him.
Did you say whistle pig?
No, that's not a nickname for a beaver. So I mean, it's a beaver. It's got the big fucking tail and everything. I looked at him. I go, "What are you talking about? It's a beaver."
Well,
That's a beaver. I go, "Yeah, it's a fucking beaver." Who's never seen a beaver? I mean,
Didn't we see a
not in person, but on TV.
Did he not want this story told? Or why? I don't understand why you can only tell it now that he's moved away.
I was gonna.
Did he molest a beaver also? Is everyone you know molest animals? Is this how all these stories are?
Well, I've never told you about a molestation of an animal story.
Didn't we see a beaver at
I just
Chevy?
assumed
You're
did.
getting me confused with Larry
Ted?
Blue Jay.
Oh,
Chevy Chase Golf Course. I thought we saw a beaver, or maybe that was.
We've seen tons of
Oh,
stuff.
that was a squirrel, Ted.
There's a squirrel, and you can't eat those, Ted.
They can cut-
There's obviously some kind of law.
Oh, you could eat them. I'm just saying. Like, I don't think you can hunt them in the city like you want to in the backyard.
What do you mean hunt them?
Or
They're just
shoot
in your
'em.
backyard. Okay, there's tons of ways to hunt them. I just put on a loincloth and I grab a spear. Yeah, I just channel my inner Native American.
How about a blow dart?
He just. I was gonna say that's what I was thinking. Blow darts.
So,
You still blow darts?
yes.
That dude is cool, man.
That's
I mean, think about it. Can you imagine like having that long dart and don't they Amazon people, they have the long dart and they shoot it up in the tree and I think they kill like whatever monkeys or whatever whatever they're hunting.
Oh yeah, they'll hunt anything.
But I mean, you got to have a lot of wind, some good pipes for that, right? To like blow that dart with a lot of impetus to get it through the tube,
Dude,
and have it stick in
So,
somebody.
so we need to get an Amazonian dude on who specializes in blow darts
darting.
or a blow dart specialist.
No, I just want someone who's a pro at darting. You ever see those BBC wildlife videos where like they got the wild, cheetah or leopard, and they dart it, and so they always shoot it in the butt, and the animal's always trying to like bite it out, and then it like stumbles around and passes out, so they can tag it, without getting torn apart. So you ever see those? And they're so peaceful. I mean, they basically are knocked out within like 5 minutes.
Ted, of course they're peaceful. They have like 10,000 ampules of morphine in them, man. You'd be pretty. You know what I would like to do? I don't want to hunt it. I don't want to hunt and dart an animal. I want to hunt and dart people. That'd be great.
The greatest dart scene in any movie is with Will Ferrell when he took that tranquilizer dart in the neck.
Oh, back old school.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that just comes out
Dude,
of nowhere,
get
right?
that out. Get that out.
That scene
no,
just comes out.
no.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
That's what he was freaking. He goes, "This is gonna puncture the skin of her right now."
You got a fucking dart in your neck, man.
Oh, dude.
The best part is when he pulls down the little kids. He
Love
like
that
pushes
movie.
the little kid aside
Yeah.
and like rips their whole birthday table down before he goes into the pool. That's great.
All right, so let me finish this up. The retirement home in Oregon, Illinois, they celebrate a lot of the big days with very special things. On Easter, they eat rabbit.
Okay.
Christmas, they eat reindeer. Right? I mean, it makes sense. Okay.
Is this real?
Yes, this is real. Columbus Day. Now, this is kind of cool. They hunt. They hunt and eat local Italians.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a long way to go for that.
Yeah.
I know. That was.
Sounds like they have some hits. They have like a hits. The Oregon retirement has
And
their
it's legal.
But it's.
Well, do they have the
Yeah,
mercenary
who's going
group?
to complain you hunt some Italians?
They
Who cares?
They
Nobody's
go,
going
they,
to.
go, they go down on Taylor Street.
They have Blackwater. They have Blackwater mercenary group working for them because I'm assuming the residents of the nursing home aren't leaving.
No, that's
there.
what makes it. That's what makes it okay, Ted. A regular, like a 30-year-old person cannot hunt any of these animals. But if they just let them go ahead and let like 70-year-old men and women out there in their house coats and their slippers, if they can get them, they let them have them. Yeah, that's just the rule, man. That's just the rule. There's nothing you can do about that. All right, let's get this thing started. All right, we got a lot of stuff to cover today. All right, hey everybody, my name is Matt, and this is the Real Three Idiots podcast. With me, as always, are two men who rode my coattails to a golf championship, Mark and Ted. Damn.
I thought
You like that one, fellas?
Yeah, but that was a long time ago. You're living in the past.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but you won.
2 years ago.
So basically, you're
Dude,
saying
you won, didn't you?
saying
You won.
We,
Yeah.
we suckled.
Thanks to me.
First of all, we didn't ride your coattails.
The fuck?
You were your own man. You were
You
your own
played
man.
good. I played great, too.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes. Here, and listen, this is what I'm saying. It was definitely a team effort, and a team.
And there was a me. There was a me in that team.
A team has to have a team leader, someone who's clearly
And then-
better than everybody
and
else.
then what happened the next year? You're also referred to as an A player. So what happened the next year? What happened the next year?
I won 2 in a row. How many can I win?
Last year when I picked you right away, I was like, fucking A. I get back in their team. You didn't tell me that you had like 3 tears in your shoulder.
Yeah, it was pretty.
I had no idea you were injured. I would have never gone on your team if I knew.
What would you have done instead?
I'm sorry.
Pick somebody else.
I was. Screw that guy. He's damaged goods.
Wait, was another guy? He couldn't even like swing the club. He showed up like he had.
Yeah, he
some
was on my
tear.
team. So I had a bad shoulder.
This
And
guy's
then-
shoulder was worse.
Yeah, and then Mark
It was
couldn't
Mark,
swing a club.
Yeah.
I think he took like 1 swing per hole,
Yeah.
and he wasn't off the tee or anything.
Nice.
Yeah, and he'd take the swing, ow, and I'm like, well, don't swing anymore. He's like, no, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I'm like, well, we could just take your shot. And he's like, no, ow. Yeah, it was just.
We did have fun. It was a fun day.
It was a fun.
It was a fun day.
He didn't win, but yeah, it was a fun day.
It's coming up.
It is.
Oh, that's
Father's Day weekend.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, let's do tips right away. Let's just get it done.
Get out of the way.
Okay. We'll kick it off. Marquise, you are singing once again. Is that correct?
If you want me to.
Well, I mean, I
I'm
don't know
not
the song.
ready.
Well, I think we need.
Okay.
You to.
Well, you don't have to be ready. I'm going to go ahead and do our sponsor. And then you can sing, and then I'll tell everybody what the tip Teddy's supposed to be given. Okay. And we're all good. Okay. Let's do that. It's cold outside. And if you need something to keep you warm, it's time for the perfect coat. The perfect coat will keep you warm and safe. The perfect coat has 3 distinct layers, each of which is designed to keep you warm and stop the coat from melting or hurting the wearer. The perfect coat is able to withstand temperatures up to 70 below zero. Perfect coat should never be worn indoors. It will engage in subversive activities. Perfect coat should not be worn by people who believe in witchcraft, voodoo, or reincarnation. Perfect coat does not like indecision or decisiveness. If perfect coat gets wet, it should be immediately terminated or it will cause civil unrest. Get yourself a perfect coat today or move somewhere warm and stay safe.
Nice. I'll mention them again after I sing my song. But they took over the old what's that store that just closed?
Burlington Coat Factory?
No, that's what's moving in next door to them. It's a competition.
Woolworths.
Yeah.
JCPenney.
That's what- yeah,
Perfect
well,
coats
they're-
everywhere, man.
Venture.
You can get them everywhere. Venture. Goodbye. So long. All right, Marquise, are you ready, sir?
Yeah.
All right. Let's hear it.
There's a place in Teddy's head where all the energy goes. Common sense died for nothing, I suppose. Ted's tips finds lots of ears. Don't stop to count the beers. His sweet advice never lasts too long while Matt and I are here.
Kind of have like a Toby Keith Brokeback Mountain vibe. to
Today's
that one,
Ted's
yeah?
Tips is sponsored by Perfect Coat. Not for witches.
I thought it was sponsored by Whistle Pig. the rye whiskey.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
yeah, whistle pig.
It did have a little. You know what? I feel like every show we do had just a little Brokeback vibe in it. Just
I thought he was going to finish up and say he couldn't quit one of us. I don't know. Probably you. He couldn't quit.
Our guest today quit us.
Yeah, I could do it over again.
No. God, no. Okay. Teddy, your tip comes from Cece in California. She is having her in-laws for dinner for the first time ever. Should she cook? She wants to know, should she cook or should she go out for dinner?
You know, I thought long and hard about this answer here, and
For at
because this
least
could be a
3 or 4
very
minutes.
important stepping stone in somebody's life, because it could either build a relationship with your, future in-laws or create some strife. So here's my advice, even though I've never personally been put in that position. My answer to that would be, I think if it's the first time your in-laws are for dinner from out of town, should you cook at home or take them out? And my tip is take them out to a nice but not that expensive of a restaurant, somewhere nice, kind of like a Texas Roadhouse. It's not Ruth's Chris, it's not Morton's, but it's not Ponderosa either.
It's decent.
It's decent. Yeah, it's good.
Good
It's acceptable. It's good side dishes and everything, good ambiance. And the reason is because, number one, you don't have to worry about cooking, and you don't have to worry about them judging you, because trust me, if they're meeting you for the first time, they will be judging you. So and then they will be judging you, and plus it frees up your time to get to actually know your in-laws and have some good conversation. Without the pressure of the prepping, it's not just the cooking; it's the prepping, it's the thinking about it. Where really all you're doing in lieu of that is making a reservation somewhere, and then you don't have to worry about the cleanup, and everyone gets to go home to their own separate places afterwards. So
But Teddy, what if the food is bad or the service is bad?
Then you blame someone else.
Yeah, but that they're gonna say you picked
That's
this.
the way you start your relationship. I told her we shouldn't come here.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, right? I mean, because if the service is bad, they're going to remember, Cece was, she picked this terrible restaurant, and you're saying like a Texas Roadhouse,
something that's not like it's not top of the line, but it's not like it's like
is
middle of the
is
pack.
that good enough to
Actually,
impress
Texas
somebody?
Roadhouse, I know somebody that was a manager there. He told me that they're all independently owned. It's kind of like a franchise.
Groundhog meat.
They're all independently owned, and nothing's frozen. They're like legit everything from scratch.
It is fresh.
He's
Really?
like, he goes, a lot of people don't know this, but they do it right. I mean, it's like their shit is like.
Yeah, out of all the Roadhouses, there's like Logan's, and I think Texas there's something else. But they actually, like in their butcher section, you could actually pick the cut of meat you want, and it's it's a good. It's like even the most expensive piece of meat there, I think, is like maybe $30 for a steak. Where if you go somewhere top of the line, it could be $80. But it's good food.
Yeah.
It's good ambiance.
That's a good suggestion.
Does that make you seem cheap though?
No, it's not cheap. It's just right. It's not too expensive, but it's not cheap. You're not like taking them to Denny's or McDonald's, which nothing wrong with those places.
Man.
Nothing wrong with those places, but just not for that type of.
You mean
event.
like as far as sponsorship goes, Ted? You can just say it. If you meet your in-laws for the first time and you take them to Denny's,
Grand Slam breakfast.
Waffle.
Yeah, you're gonna
Moon's
get shit
Because
on.
they are open. They are open 24/7.
Moons over Miami. I love that.
Hey, Mom and Dad Smith, come on in. We can sit. We got the whole back of the Waffle House.
Waffle
We got
House,
the
I was gonna
whole
say
back of the Waffle House just for us.
It doesn't get busy till 2 a.m.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, we're it's 9:00. So yeah, there's no puke.
Texas Roadhouse is a decent choice because I said it's just that perfect. It's almost like an Outback. It's just kind of that middle of the road place. That's just good
And
enough.
they're everywhere.
Yeah, and they're everywhere. And like I said,
They are
it's
everywhere.
It's more like I said. There's pressure to get to know your in-laws, but that's all you're focused on. You're not focused about making the perfect meal. Here, I'll give you an example. What if the in-laws are lactose intolerant, or what if they're vegan, and now you have to make the special meal for one of them? Well, now they could just order off the menu, and it's on them, right?
No, that makes perfect sense. I read an article the other day where somebody didn't go to the wedding or something. Somebody didn't go to the wedding because they wanted everything to be vegan. They didn't even want to be in a room where there was meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the bride who makes everything vegan because she's vegan and she just assumes
everybody's vegan too.
It's like, if I'm going to ruin my day, I'm going to ruin everybody. Right. So go to hell, you little fuckers.
It sounds like is she the Wicked Witch of the West getting married?
That's my female voice for everybody.
It is your female voice.
I only have one.
It's like a combination between like Marge Simpson and the guy from Hellraiser.
Hellraiser.
The pinhead.
Pinhead, yeah.
Oh,
does
man.
he talk?
I think he says
I've
something.
never seen that movie.
Yeah, I think he just says die.
He says words like he says amputation
eat
and
you.
evisceration, and he says that a lot.
God, I haven't seen that. I don't like. I mean, I'm not a big scary movie fan, so I'm not going to watch that shit.
But it's kind of funny. Did you notice as you get older, like when I look at watch scary movies now, which is rare, I don't get scared anymore. I just start laughing because they play the creepy music and you know something's going to happen, or maybe it doesn't happen.
They don't make them like they used to when we were growing up.
Oh no, this isn't scary. Movies aren't scary enough.
No, I mean
really.
So when we were growing up, Halloween, Friday the 13th.
Okay.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Those were they were different than
How about the Exorcist? That came out in 1975.
Yeah, but I mean that was pretty iconic. They didn't have a lot of movies where like a 9-year-old girl was stuffing a cross into herself.
Yeah, if you saw the think about 1975. That came out in 75. That came out today. That would still be pretty up there, but back then nobody had ever seen anything like that before with a girl. You usually think of a monster, you think of Jason, he's like a big guy with an axe or escaped from a mental institution, but no, a 9-year-old girl scaring the shit out of you because she can turn her head all the way around and crawl on the ceiling. That's pretty scary stuff.
I'm just I don't know, I'm not a fan, but I mean, how is Scream and all these
No,
things?
that's different. I was going to say that's the exception. Scream came out in 96 or 97. That was good. But I'm talking about Saw and these just fucking. All
right, here I can
shock
top it.
Horror movies.
Have you guys ever heard of public domain? Are you guys familiar with that phrase, public domain?
Yeah.
Okay, so when somebody creates a piece of literature or they write something or they're comic book or whatever, after 120 years, the comic or the copyright runs out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You can't do anything about it, right?
Can't do anything about it. Well, I mean, Disney's fighting pretty hard with Mickey Mouse because Mickey Mouse is actually there.
Oh, yeah.
Mickey Mouse is coming out of the public domain next year.
Oh, wow.
But it's like an old version of Mickey Mouse. Remember old Steamboat Mickey Mouse?
The racist version of Mickey Mouse back in the minstrel back in the 30s and 40s. Yeah, that version. Yeah.
So that version is coming out. An old version of Batman, an old version of Superman. They're all coming out next year.
Yeah.
But just recently, Winnie the Pooh came out in the public domain. And you guys obviously didn't see the trailer for this, right? No. So some guy they call it like a micro-budget movie, okay? And the name of the movie is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Okay? Now, it is every bit a slasher movie, okay? So it starts out with the premise.
It's a cartoon, though.
No.
Oh.
It's live. It's a guy dressed in a very bad Winnie the Pooh costume, but he is supposed to be Winnie the Pooh. So it says, you got to see the trailer. Listen, if you're listening, get on to Google and Google Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. But the premise is, it says, Christopher Robin left Winnie the Pooh and his friends alone in the woods for 20 years. And they went wild. And so they show Christopher Robin. He's like a 25-year-old guy with a girl. And he walks out there. He's like, I got to check on these guys. And everything's just written in blood. It says the 20-acre wood or whatever it is. Everything's just written in blood. Don't come in. He's like, I got to check this out. And she's like, no, don't do it. And Winnie the Pooh jumps out, literally chops her head off. And he's like, I didn't mean to leave you alone. He goes, it's too late now. And he goes, yeah. And then fast forward 20 years, a bunch of people, come and he just Winnie the Pooh and all of his friends.
So this is the trailer that's not out.
Yeah.
So anybody
anybody
could just keep remaking Winnie the Pooh. Now this guy doesn't own it.
So
nobody owns it. It's just free,
nobody owns
game.
it. So Winnie the Pooh is free game. Now you ready? So Bambi is free game also, and so he put this thing out. It's coming this summer. This shitty movie. It's probably going to get tons of people to watch because it's Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
He's got another one in the hopper already. Bambi.
So it sounds like this guy is waiting for the public domain to expire. Sounds like that's his thing.
So he's just doing his thing. So
that doesn't seem right. They need to change that law, right?
No, copyright runs out, man. It's 120 years.
It shouldn't be like that, though.
What?
If it's still relevant, it's still you still own it, then...
I mean, 120 years. You've owned it for 120 years now. You can just have it.
So that's it? It's not your property anymore because of time?
Yeah. I mean, you could... Listen,
next year... owned your house for 60 years and you don't have a mortgage anymore?
No, it's a copyright. That's a whole different thing.
It's ownership. It's somebody's art. It's somebody's...
Listen, I don't make the laws, but I mean, next year Mickey Mouse comes out, and we could have Mickey Mini porn. I mean,
So can I rewrite?
You could do anything.
Can I rewrite the Bible since that's been out for a few hundred years now and just make stuff up?
Dude, yeah, people do. Ted,
how
many versions?
Sorry, they do.
How many versions of Christianity are there?
I think
they've made up a lot of stuff. Why don't you ask Joseph Smith or ask the Mormons? Yeah, ask the Mormons. Ask the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Wait, did Ted say he's waiting for the Bible's copyright to come up?
I think it's been 118 years.
It's already been up.
118 years.
2 more years, Ted.
Yeah. All right, so I want to do some updates real fast because, or at least least one update. So last week we talked about that Rhode Island cop. I told you he was sitting in his car with a beer, and he's chased some speeders. And I told you he was on trial.
Well, he wasn't a cop. He was like a security guard.
Right, exactly. Sorry, he's a middle school security guard. Okay,
so the trial's over.
Trial's over. Okay, now just to remind you, he saw he was sitting in his car with a beer, and he saw some speeders, and he followed him to a pizza place, and
did he have a radar gun, or he just eyeballed him?
You eyeballed him.
Yeah. Shot into the car, shot the kid. Yeah. He was acquitted by a jury of morons.
Yeah. Not his peers,
Yeah. He was acquitted for all of that. Off duty, drinking, shooting at a bunch of people, shooting at 3 kids in a car.
If that was your kid?
Right. That's exactly what I said. There's no way those jurists, if that was their kid, would have ever let this guy go. He could have murdered somebody.
Give me
for
that
speeding.
attorney's name. You never know.
That's dude.
Right?
That guy's a home run hitter.
There was a case years ago that preceded that where it wasn't like a security guard, but it was like a regular father. And I guess like I can't remember what the dynamic was, but it's like some kids like played a prank at his house or something like doorbell ding dong ditch, whatever that game is. Yeah, so he gets in his car and chases them and so they're like kids, so they're in complete fight for flight mode, and so he's like chasing them like a high speed chase for like miles for this stupid prank, and I guess like they ended up like crashing.
They got in a car accident.
They got in a car accident, and I think he got charged with something. I don't know what became of it, but it was kind of along those same lines, where he tried to impart vigilante justice because somebody rung his doorbell at 7:30 at night.
There was one just like that. Some kids threw a snowball at a guy's car, and he ended up. I think he ended up chasing him, and didn't he run one of the kids over?
No, they just gave a guy 18 years. Somebody was throwing snowballs. Some young kids were just throwing snowballs at passing cars, and his was one of the passing cars. So he just got out of his car and started just shooting at him. And he was like a 28-year-old guy. Starts shooting at him, and they all run away. I don't think anybody was hit, but he just got like 18 years.
You can't do that anymore. That's all we did growing up was throw snowballs.
I thought you were going to say shoot people who threw snowballs.
No, we never. Yeah. That's all we did.
Yeah,
hide behind the bushes and fucking bomb cars.
Right, and try to get a chase.
And the best was the bus. I mean, obviously they never chased you.
Yeah.
So buses and taxi cabs. Those were our targets.
And I'll give you this is one of my buddies, and I'm not even going to say his name because he's probably in jail. He was this was a bad dude, man. He got kicked out of high school. I mean, he's just a bad dude. But we were 10, 11, and we're throwing snowballs at cars, and the guy we always want to get a chase, right? Yeah. So the guy jumps out of his car, and we all take off, and he starts running down the block. And what does my buddy do? He gets right into that running car and takes off with it, man.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Let's just call him Brian, but I will not. Yeah,
we had a situation like that too.
It was unbelievable, and it was gone. He was gone.
Yeah.
And this guy sees it. He turns around and he starts running. And Brian was just gone.
Isn't that called like carjacking?
Yeah. No, I mean, he left it running.
A guy did that to us too, and chased us. And Andy, a friend of ours, he was psycho. Andy got in a car, put it in neutral, took the keys out, and tossed the keys. So the car didn't go far, but it rolled far enough but he threw the keys, so the guy couldn't find the keys, and we were just gone. So we have no idea what happened. But what I do remember is
still looking for the keys.
Well, here's the problem with that.
Snow will melt.
We happened to be in the corner that we used to hang out on in the neighborhood, like our main. That's where it all took place. So now we fucking avoided our main hangout for like the rest of the winter because we were afraid this guy's gonna come back. But eventually he found his keys because the car wasn't there the next day.
Yeah, isn't that funny? You drive around now and there are no corners with kids doing anything.
Oh, dude, we used to. I mean,
yeah, there's no like running bases. There's no just like
stick
eight assholes, like
doing
the
street.
Kind of doing dumb shit.
You got cell phone, you got smartphones, you got internet, and now everybody on the TikTok crew, they're stealing Hyundais and Kias, right? That those TikTok people, they're like sending out these stuff how to steal certain cars because it's like there's some hack. It's called a hack.
Yeah.
Where I guess like it's real easy to steal certain types of vehicles.
It is easy. You know what? It's so easy. I even had to do it. Yeah,
just on principle alone.
Well, no, I have a Kia, so I just went out and stole my own car. I just want to see if I could do it. Yeah, it works like a charm. By the way.
So last thing. So when I was in high school, so you know, I was always that one guy in high school. I was a sophomore, and he looked like you. I think he looked like he was 35. You know, he had like a full beard. He had like hair on his chest.
You're talking to Mark. I have no hair.
Yeah.
I'm basic.
No, this guy, he had like a full beard, and this dummy, he stole a CTA train. I don't know how he did it. Yeah, he gets in. Obviously, he doesn't go anywhere because it's on a rail, right? But he takes the train
I think it's called a track,
and he drives it. however far on the track, and obviously they catch him. And this idiot, he's in the Chicago.
Couldn't he just jump out?
I don't know what he did, but long story, but he crashed it, of course, because he's not a professional conductor or engineer, or trained conductor.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Here, I'll tell you a funny hair story. I had to go get a physical for my new job, right? So I go in, and she's just like, "Oh, we're gonna just lay down. I'm gonna do a whole EKG." And that's where they put all these different leads on you and everything, right? Yeah. So you get it all over your chest and all over your stomach and everything. So take off your shirt, okay? And she's like, take off your pants. I'm like, what are you doing down there? She goes, well, nothing now, so you can put it back on. And then so she puts all these things on, and then I'm like, oh, I go, that's pretty quick. She goes, oh yeah. She goes, it's because you don't have any hair on your body. I didn't have to shave you or anything.
Wow.
And it's like,
what kind of job is that?
Yeah.
It's is this for being an astronaut?
No, but she had to put all these leads on me, and I'm like, does that happen a lot? And she goes, this is what she says. She goes, oh, the last guy had to be shaved. Oh, you ready? All over.
It's like the movie. Remember, the movie Scanners, where they put the leads in, and the guy's like,
the guy's head blows up.
They making sure that you're what?
I don't know. I passed with flying colors. It's like your heart and your all sorts of stuff.
I think you went to the wrong place.
No, no. She said I'd never gotten it done, so she said you got to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, she did the stick in the butt thing. That was kind of fun. I mean, yeah, she was very gentle.
She goes, this is off the record, by the way. This one's off the record.
No, she said
this isn't going in your personal
file. Testing, I think it was testing butt depth.
Okay.
Butt depth. I don't know.
Where did the flange
She
stop?
did a lot of stuff. She did the
flange stopped.
Yeah, she did the cutting one, where she see how many times she cuts your arm until you cry.
See if your appendages grow back.
Yeah. Yep.
You were not a salamander. Yeah.
That's what she wrote down. Not a salamander. Yeah. No, it was kind of cool. She did so. It was kind of funky. She did so many things. I'm a little deficient in my vitamin D. But my blood pressure is fantastic. I get this every time when I go in. She's like, "Oh, what medications are you on?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't take any medications. Zero." She's like, "Oh," she goes, "That's so good. Keep that up." And I'm like, I don't think that's a choice. I mean, I think if I had to take medication, I would. But yeah, I just choose to go the other way.
I'm convinced that doctors are over medicating, and it's
hell yeah.
But so my doctor. I went in for a blood test. I go like every year, so I had my blood test just a couple of months ago.
And you have blood.
And I got the results back, and my cholesterol's really good, really good. I mean, like scary good. And
is it too good? So we had to give you medicine
to
make
97.
it worse?
It's 97, and you don't want to be above like 139 or something. So I was at 97, and I went in this past couple months ago, and it was a little bit higher, but it was still in that great level.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, I'm not gonna put you on any meds right now. And I looked at it and I'm like, you showed me the range. I mean, what do you mean? You're like, I'm gonna be on them soon. I'm like, no, I probably ate a burger last night and threw the numbers off.
Well, yeah,
right. I'm like, he wanted to, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, unless you got like super high, like what is it, LDL and whatever that other.
Yeah. There's a good cholesterol on the back.
Yeah. Unless you have something super high, they're not going to put.
Is that weird that there's a good and a bad?
Yeah, my good cholesterol is low.
Does that make sense?
My good cholesterol needs to go up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just seems weird to me that there's a good and a bad.
Well, it's
like yin and
one thing.
It's like yin and yang.
Yeah, I think this is all run by DC or Marvel Comics. There's a good and a bad.
There's a God. There's a heaven cholesterol, and there's a hell cholesterol. Yeah. But I kept joking the entire time I'm doing it. I was like, oh, you know what? I take pretty good care of myself, except for my severe alcoholism. and so finally I said it. I let that joke just run too far. And she goes. You can see someone about that.
Wow.
I'm like to help me be more of an alcoholic. I'm like, no, I think I got this down, man.
No, Matt said I'm waiting to get a week's on the job before I claim that.
That would be. Oh,
I'm waiting till you hire me.
Oh, actually,
officially.
didn't that actually happen? So the former coach at USC college football, I think his name was like Steve Sarkisian. Like he was an alcoholic, and I think he showed up to like a meeting drunk, so they fired him, and then he actually sued them for like ADA, like American with Disabilities, because he basically said alcoholism's a disease. I don't know what became of it, but I'm sure they paid him because they got millions of dollars.
You mean you hit the nail on the head. My brother works for the railroad. I mean, there's so many guys.
He let Teddy's friend steal a goddamn.
He works for Union Pacific, and there's so many guys that they test. Like if there's ever an accident or incident,
they
test everybody immediately.
Yeah, sure.
and they also do random testing, so they do the random thing too.
Oh no!
And there's so many guys that a lot of them are old timers. They're real bad drunks. They're alcoholics, and they get busted all the time. But they never lose their job. They just say I'm an alcoholic. So then they give them 3 months off and then they come back and everything's fine. And then next time they fail it, it's drug or alcohol test. They fail it, and then they just said, and then you have to immediately say, I have a drug problem. And then they, boom, pay time off. You go through the rehab, and then you come back on the job.
Oh,
it's just a vicious cycle.
Man,
my brother said there's he knows one guy. It's like 5 fucking times the guy's been in rehab.
I could just see
somebody.
So
it's like Ben Affleck. And what's his name? Matthew Perry. It wasn't Matthew Perry in rehab like 13. He said he was in rehab 13 times. He said he spent like $5 million. Obviously, it didn't work.
Listen, I am so sick of Matthew Perry and all this stuff that's coming out now. I'm actually sick of all this stuff where these people are like sharing details from 30 years ago because they're not important
she's
anymore.
Got a book coming out or a movie, right? A book.
Oh
Pam
my
Anderson's
God.
book.
I didn't.
She's accusing everybody of like doing something inappropriate to her.
Everybody of flashing her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am so sick.
Tim Allen's like, I never.
He was wearing a trench coat.
Yeah.
I forgot she was on that show.
Baywatch?
No, Tool Time.
Oh yeah,
well, not Tool Time. What was it called?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Hobby
Tim
Lobby,
Allen.
Hobby Lobby, Handy Andy.
Tim
I don't
Allen,
know.
Tim Allen, Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what's funny? You mentioned Hobby Lobby. You ever seen those commercials where that Jesus commercials, like they get us, he gets us? You ever seen that?
I think I might have seen one.
It's on a lot of sports stuff. They're going to have a Super Bowl commercial.
You just said something. It was on something.
Yeah, it was on the other day. We were sitting at the bar. I told you. I go, there's one of those Jesus commercials.
Like a weird network, right?
Yeah, no, it's on everywhere. It's on all. It's on all regular network.
Is he making a comeback?
Who?
Jesus.
No, listen. This is a thing, and I guess Hobby Lobby is a big. It's owned by some Christian.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Yep.
And so a whole bunch of Christian companies have gotten together, and they're spending $1 billion.
Chick-fil-A's in on this. I promise you that.
No, I don't like their politics, man.
Dude, I hate them
I will
too,
never. I will never eat a Chick-fil-A. I will literally go hungry for weeks, which is impossible. But I would.
Sandwich.
I don't give a shit. I don't like their politics, man. They are.
I don't either. I'm with you. I know everything about it.
So Hobby Lobby and a bunch of other Christian companies are spending $1 billion to get the word out there that Jesus gets us. And here's what they want. They want the like the people who feel like they're not part of the church, like the LGBTQ plus KG people. They want all that. They want all those people that kind of like feel like they're being excluded.
Yeah.
And so a bunch of people are just like, hey man, if you're doing that, you're kind of desperate right now. But yeah.
Oh, it's church is hurting.
Well, yeah.
That's why I said, is he making a comeback? Yeah. Organized religion is taking a hit.
Of course.
Think about all the kids nowadays. That are in high school and get out of high school. No one goes to church anymore.
Well, the church.
No, it's kind of an outdated concept.
But to this day, the church is still the biggest landowner in the world. So, like, I think you have like McDonald's and the church, like whoever. So the church actually owns more land.
Oh, and Portillo's. No, but yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Tim Hortons, Dunkin' Donuts, they're probably up there too.
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
All right, so now this to me is one of the scariest things I ever heard. Last week there was a brawl at a middle school basketball game in Vermont. Did you guys hear about this?
Out of all places, no.
And a guy died.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
He
afterward,
like a parent,
right?
like a parent,
like a grandparent. I think he was like 60 years old. I mean, I don't know. I guess 60-year-olds can be regular parents now. Ask Mel Gibson. But yeah, they actually used the word melee.
Yeah,
for what happened here. And here's the funny thing, and I'm thinking of this. I was like, I wonder if LeBron James' parents or Michael Jordan's parents ever started fights during their eighth grade basketball games.
He's nuts at the kids' games. You ever see LeBron at one of his kids' games?
No, please tell me no.
Oh, dude, he's one of those fucking parents.
You know what?
He's standing up on the sideline. He's insane. He's like one of those guys at the AAU games and shit.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I just don't like him so much.
Dude, God. I'm telling you, I mean,
there's nothing about LeBron James that, I get it.
We were talking about
probably
last
one of the greatest players of all time.
He just broke the all-time scoring record. Yeah.
Yeah, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the man who always traveled, according to Ted. Yeah.
No, Kareem never traveled.
I know he didn't. Ted's full of shit. But yeah, it just freaks me out that people are that into sports. But then we talked about it a couple weeks ago with the tennis dad who was beating the shit out of his daughter.
His own daughter, yeah.
His own daughter, smacking the shit out of her, kicking her. The fucking video was terrible, man.
There's a video on that.
Yeah, and then and then LeBron James is doing that.
He's not. No, what he's doing is he's like one of those boisterous fans that are making a comment on every play, commenting to the refs, cheering up his son. Like it's like insane. It's like fucking.
Well,
he never shuts the fuck up.
I'm
He's
sure
on
it's
the
like
sideline.
I'm sure it's like intimidating too, because he's not just like a parent. He's like one of the best basketball players of all time.
Well, yeah,
so I'm sure no one's going to say anything to him, right? Because
Right.
I mean, he's LeBron James,
Right, and
so.
he's not coaching the team, but he'll run over to the bench and like fucking during the middle of a game and shit like that. I mean, obviously he's not doing at the high school level, but he was doing it in all these AAU games when Bronny was coming up.
Oh man, could you imagine? No. I mean, you got to wonder, like, is his kid like humiliated when
No, dude, not at all. They're not. No.
What?
That's
come
how
on.
they roll, man. He was cool with it. I think it didn't. No.
What? Oh, come on. I mean, would you even want your kid? I mean, would you even want your kid on LeBron James's son's team?
No.
Because if you pass
me the ball.
No,
he passes the ball. I mean,
his son does.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming down to the last play.
Bronny on Bronny's high school team. He's kind of like.
Is he on? Wait, is he on a team with like a whole bunch of other pros?
Yeah, he's on Sierra Canyon. They're all pro kids. Every kid on the team has got a fucking. Their father's like, I can't even remember my son. I mean, Bronny's on a team for Sierra Canyon is all like kids from all over the world.
Like the blue chippers.
They got like a 7-footer from like
the blue chippers.
China. They got like
Shaquille
three
O'Neal's
NBA,
kid.
3 NBA. No, they got 3 or 4 NBA player kids. Like Pippen was on that high school.
You know
when
what?
Pippin's son was on the team. And
you know what it's like. So years ago, I went to that tournament, shoot the bull. It's the 3-on-3 shoot the bull
I played
tournament.
in that. That's where I tore my knee up.
Oh, I'm sorry, but anyway, so I played one.
your fault,
I played
Ted.
1 year. Well, I wasn't on your. I didn't set the screen, by the way. That wasn't me. So anyway, so I played with 2 other guys, just average guys. I think we won like our first game against guys like our size, and then like the next set of guys, I think they were all like 6'8".
Well, they have
with like 40-inch vertical. I mean, I don't know, but it was just like it was like wow.
Yeah, you got to get in the right bracket, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they got.
Well, we were in the
they
wrong.
had
We were in
lots
the
of
wrong. We were in the wrong bracket.
So you guys know what's happening next Tuesday, right?
Solar eclipse.
The Hallmark holiday.
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
You love Valentine's Day. That's your thing.
Yeah, I hate it. So you know what? So
What do you get me for Valentine's Day?
So
Mark?
listen, I'm gonna be. I don't know.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna test your butt depth.
So guess what the day before is? Monday the 13th.
What the? That's not. Isn't it Friday the 13th? Am I losing this?
The day before Valentine's Day is Galentine's Day.
What?
Galentine's Day, like Gal
Gadot?
Galentine's Day.
I don't understand that.
Like you got a gal
say
pal.
it 4
like
more
you got-
times. I don't understand what you're saying.
That's the holiday. It was in
like
the
a
fucking
friend day?
Yes.
Wait,
So
Ted's my friend.
hang
Do I
on,
have to?
I'm going to read this to you. This is
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Galentine's Day is observed on February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. Galentine's Day celebrates platonic friendships, usually among women. It originated on the show Parks and Recreation.
You know what?
Okay,
I
so
do remember that. It's
I
one
don't
of
know
my favorite shows.
I don't know anything about this holiday or anything
man.
about the show, but
That's
it's
because it doesn't exist.
right. Well, it's a fictional holiday that
in
she
the
made
wind.
up on the show.
It's in the
Yeah.
wind.
One
It's
of
in
the
the wind,
characters.
yeah.
So I'm looking at the paper today, and there's an ad section for Jewel Osco.
And no way are they selling
Dude,
stuff.
listen. So they got all this shit about Valentine's Day flowers, right? And then they have Galentine Day flowers for your gal pals. It's called a gal pal bouquet, $12.99.
Now, see, if I saw that, I would think that's a typo. I was thinking, oh, why are they saying Galentine instead of
I was
Valentine?
like, so I had to look it up. I'm like, what is what Monday the 13th? I'm like, what the fuck? How could they make up another stupid holiday right before the first stupid holiday? Like this is getting
I
out of
love
control.
that you're so anti Valentine's Day.
So I looked up. So they're selling these bouquets for Galentine's Day are like $2 more than the Valentine's Day ones.
But for your friend?
Yeah.
But you're not trying to get in her pants.
It's for platonic relationships. It's probably
Right.
for guys or girls. It's Galentine for gals who don't have a significant other. So they don't want to feel left out on this Hallmark holiday.
And it's more
So they invented
expensive?
a holiday. Yeah, so I'm looking at it, and these flowers are $12.99. The other ones are $10.99. And then I look right next to it. There's an ad for beer and shit like this. Like you get a 30-pack of Miller High Life cans for $12.99, the same price.
I do not want to be your friend. I feel like you.
I would get you. For Valentine's Day, I'm getting you both a 30-pack.
I would get
because it's actually if you buy one or more, $12.99. 30-pack of High Life, 30-pack of High Life.
I'm gonna get
my gift to you.
You know what my gift to you is? You're going to be here.
You're going to leave it in my car. You're going to put it back in my car. I'll drink that shit.
I'm gonna get you a I'm gonna get you a cactus.
That's the reason I got a
rubber
good job,
plant.
so I can drink real beer, so I don't have to drink Miller High Life ever again.
Galentine's Day. Can you believe that shit?
I can't. No, here I watch Parks and Rec, and I know is Leslie Knope the character, and she set it up with her friend, right? Because it was a great friend. But it's I can't believe that they would take something from a TV show and
they don't make
it
reference to the TV show. They just say the holiday like everyone's supposed to know what it is.
Oh man.
That's weird because on most sitcoms they make stuff up. So, but like really does like it go from make believe stuff go to like actually like mainstream?
There's a guy in the neighborhood that has a Festivus pole in his front yard.
He has a what pole?
I have seen
Festivus.
Festivus.
I have seen that. You know, from Seinfeld. Festivus for the rest of us.
This guy puts a pole. He puts a pole up in his front yard.
So I have seen at the stores. It's funny. I've seen Festivus cards.
What does that mean? What's Festivus?
Did you watch Seinfeld?
George Costanza's dad made up a holiday.
Okay.
Yeah, the airing of the grievances.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Yeah. It's a grievance.
Yeah, the first. Yeah, no. The first thing for Festivus was the airing of the grievances, and then feats of strength.
Yes. I got a bone to pick with you. George's boss. I forgot his name.
Oh my God! Yeah, I can't believe you don't know that.
No, I mean I've watched Seinfeld, but I mean I don't think I've watched literally every episode of Seinfeld.
Oh, come on!
I mean,
you're the only person on the planet our age that hasn't seen every episode of Seinfeld at least 10 times.
I've seen the one with man hands, the one with the man hands, the woman who wears the same dress in every photo.
Yeah, Teddy. Honestly, I bet there isn't an episode I haven't seen 10 times. I actually don't watch it anymore because it's just too much.
Well, it ran on it's syndicated. It ran for so long.
Yeah, but my kids like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come in and they'll have it on, or they did have it on, and they'll be laughing. I'm just like,
my kids watched every episode of The Office.
I'm not a fan.
I hate it because I'll tell you why I hate it because I watched the
Valentine's
British.
Day.
I watched the British Office. Ricky Gervais's.
Oh, I love Ricky Gervais.
Well, I have for I think it was 2 seasons of the original British Office on DVD. That was my show. I watched that show, and then the American Office came out, and I was like, "Oh, this is stupid." It doesn't even compare. Ricky Gervais's is way better.
Well, yeah, I mean, but Ricky Gervais is like a super comedian. But Steve Carell is great.
Well, he's fantastic. I'm not knocking him. I just can't watch it. But he is good. I do end up watching some episodes with the kids, but they've seen every episode.
Oh yeah,
they like binge watch.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I just can't do it, man. He's such a fuck up all the time. I can't. Yeah. It's hard to watch somebody
he's not
who's
like
always a fuck up.
No, he's not a fuck up. You know, he's just like tone deaf. That's what he is. Like I've seen a couple of those episodes where he's just like in his own little world, oblivious. What Dunder Mifflin? Is that the name of the firm?
Wait, you know what, Ted? Now I'm thinking about it. You know who he reminds me of?
You,
sir. Yeah, he reminds me of you. He does.
Yeah. He's very inappropriate.
Yeah, completely inappropriate. Doesn't get it. Yeah, makes the same mistakes over again.
He's an HR nightmare.
Well, you're saying like he's over the top now because he's just over and over and over and over again. That's because there's like 15 seasons of that.
Yeah,
that's why Gervais got 2 seasons. Done. It's over with.
Yeah, but
because otherwise it just becomes too crazy.
The British do that with everything. They have
everything
is like
Benny Hill was on the air for a long time. There's British.
That was very rare. Most time British things are on for 2-3 seasons. They basically just end it or kill everybody off. Yeah. So it's just like, oh, this is a really funny show. Everybody have a glass of Kool-Aid, and they all just fucking drop dead.
Do you remember Benny Hill?
Yeah.
Do you remember they used to show tits? TNA in that show.
They showed boobies.
Yeah. They showed. I mean,
we would stay up on Sunday nights at like 11 o'clock just to masturbate.
And it would speed up the film. It would speed up the film.
There were boobies.
Yes.
To make them run. Like he's
running
like
11, 12 years old. You're like, holy Christ.
Wait, 11 and 12 years old. My old man had subscriptions to Penthouse for I don't know how many years.
I know. Yeah. Well, maybe we were younger then. But I just.
Yeah.
But to see it on television like that, you're like.
You
seem back in the 80s. That was back in the 70s and 80s. Benny Hill.
Oh yeah.
That shit.
That was Monty Python showed cartoon boobs and real boobs sometimes, and then Benny Hill just went one step too far. You know what? He made me
chasing the maid.
Yeah, there's a reason. Yep, and the titties bouncing all over. That's
Maybe that was the first that was like softcore porn in disguise. Benny Hill. That's what that.
No,
was.
the first.
There's never any sexual acts or anything.
No, just bouncing boobies, dude.
Yeah.
That's called
they're
soft.
sure-
That's called softcore
Man,
porn.
for a 10-year-old, it was like a dream
It's
come
called
true.
softcore porn.
Yeah, you had to watch it like in a room where your parents weren't there because
Yeah.
you didn't want to be like
What are you watching? I got Channel 11 on.
yeah
PBS.
Yeah, PBS is on.
yeah. Why don't you go upstairs?
The Lara Report.
I don't want to stand up right now. I don't want to stand up right now. I don't want to. No.
Well, you don't have to stand up. Doctor Who's coming on next.
That's something I never got into.
God, dude.
I never got into that. My daughter loves Doctor Who.
Well, she loves it for a different reason because the Doctor Who that was on, there's a different Doctor Who every like 4 seasons, or they're only on for 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, that's the British thing, right? They just keep
so
replacing them.
Now it was a female like 3 years ago, but the guy's last name was Smith, something Smith.
Oh yeah,
He was like a real good looking guy, and the ratings for Doctor Who went like through the roof.
like Ryan Reynolds good looking or Ryan Gosling
Might
good
have
looking?
been
or
Ryan
no?
Reynolds.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't because I would have watched Doctor Who. Okay, so have you guys seen the story about the Dallas Zoo?
Oh, I heard about that one. They
Okay.
I think they caught the guy who was doing that.
The
yeah.
guy that put the monkeys in his closet.
So he was more than just monkeys. So for like a month, right? They had a serious problem keeping animals in their zoo, right? They lost a snow leopard escaped after somebody cut a hole in a fence. An endangered vulture died, and 12 squirrel monkeys were stolen, and 2, I don't even know what these things are, emperor tamarin monkeys.
Oh yeah, those are the ones with those the hair on their head. They got
Yeah.
like a big
So,
mane.
so this guy was stealing them, and I'm just thinking, why would anybody want all these monkeys? And I figured it out, monkey fucker. Yeah. There's
Well,
nobody steals.
Well, they
nobody
caught the guy.
steals all those
They
monkeys.
caught the guy, and he basically said, "If you let me out, I'm going to do it again." He said that.
That's
So you know what that's cue for? That's cue for start cutting stuff off. So you
Dude,
can't
that
do it
guy,
again.
there's no way he'd get into the zoo again.
you
You have to go to Lincoln Park Zoo or somewhere like that.
where anybody can get in.
Right.
They don't have any animals at Lincoln Park Zoo. So
know,
so we
dude,
got a
it's
zoo. We got a zoo in Chicago.
I know, dude. We went there. It was unbelievable.
This is
I don't even know what to say.
This is so great. So we've got 2 zoos in the Chicago area. One is the Brookfield Zoo. It's this world-class zoo,
Right.
Just fantastic. And then one is a free zoo run by the city, Lincoln Park Zoo. And I used to work in the city with the kids, right? And we would take the kids to Lincoln Park Zoo once a year at the end of the year as a kind of like a thing. Every year we went for 6 years, there were less and less animals until the last time we went, and a couple of the kids said to me, "Aren't there supposed to be animals in a zoo?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they go, "Where are they?" We walked around.
it.
I think we saw a penguin and a camel.
Yeah,
And
you
that is
walk around.
it.
It's the type of zoo we
Hey,
walk around trying to find
The,
an
Try
animal.
to find
the
an
exhibits
animal.
were closed.
You end up
Just deal with
fucking.
it.
You end
Yeah,
up,
Just deal with it.
they were all there. The exhibits were there, and they looked like they were stocked.
Yeah, but they're
they,
not-
they had everything
they're inside
except,
or something.
except-
I know,
No,
all the
they weren't
time.
inside. There were no animals inside. There were no animals outside. There just were no animals.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the weirdest, shittiest. That's when you say your city runs a zoo. Yeah, when Chicago runs
it
a
wasn't
zoo,
always
it has
like that,
everything.
though. I actually
except
think Lincoln
animals.
Park Zoo is really, really cool. I like it, but you're right.
No, the
Something-
setup is really cool.
But sometimes there's just no animals
not
on
sometimes.
display.
I was actually there not too long ago in the primate house. I mean, you saw there was a lot of primates in there,
Yeah.
and I think like the big, the
like
big
hot ones?
No, the big cat house. Actually, the big cat house. Is
Oh,
not
they
what it used
redid
to
the
be.
whole lion thing.
Yeah, they redid it.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
they
unbelievable.
got rid of some exhibits. Yeah,
They
so-
got rid of everything in there.
Yeah, there used to be like
Yeah.
a panther, a leopard.
all
and
of
now
it's
there's
gone.
now there's some lions, but they sleep. They sleep during the day, so you never see them. They only come out.
Teddy, I will tell you this. For 6 straight years, we went to that zoo.
And you're looking at
And
squirrels.
every year.
Squirrels and
Yeah,
ducks.
Squirrels and
Flamingos.
geese.
Flamingos.
Ducks, geese, pigeons, and squirrels.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. There
Oh, you
was
can go to the dairy park. They're always there.
Oh, the
The
farm. What
cows-
about the farm? The farm,
farm
part?
animals
The
are
farm
always
animals,
there.
Yeah.
farm animals.
Yeah, the
In Chicago.
the barn. No, the barn
The
part.
far
the bar,
south
the
end
barn.
But you
the
don't
zoo.
go. But you don't go to a zoo to see a cow.
We always go in through that entrance because we go to RJ Grunt's. So we park near RJ Grunt's and come in from the south.
You found parking?
from the south.
Wait,
You found parking?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, you have a plan
We have
when
a
you go to the
system.
zoo?
Oh yeah, we go like once, twice a year.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't find the zoo to be interesting to me. I really don't.
We go there to visit my in-laws.
Yeah.
No,
No, but I mean, honestly, once your kids are over the age of 8, a zoo is kind of a useless concept, isn't it?
No, I love the zoo.
But I mean, the animals don't ever do anything. When's the last time you went to a zoo and an animal did something?
That's a good place to take. Oh, never mind.
Were you gonna say a date?
Yeah, like Rocky took
Rocky took
Adrian.
Adrian to the zoo on a suggestion of.
He was an idiot.
It's like
I love that
1975.
movie, man. I love that scene.
No, I mean, just the
Hey,
concept.
Rock, take her to the zoo.
Yeah, I mean,
And he does.
the concept of a zoo seems kind of. I mean, once you hit a certain age, a zoo just
Well, it's
isn't
good
a
for
thing.
kids. Well, I know the Brookfield Zoo, like you pay separately, but you can like pet a stingray or with the barb taken out, of course. But yeah, I mean, but there's stuff. There's more. It's more interactive. Yeah, no, you get to
don't
pet
think
him with
they
the
took the
barb. With the
barb
barb. And,
out.
oh my god.
You don't get the Irwin experience.
Yeah, that's
You have two experiences: one with the barb, one without, and you can live. But here's the funny thing about the guy, because you're right, they caught this guy, right? Because he was like in some abandoned house.
Yeah, that's where he was
right?
keeping some of the animals.
But
Yeah.
they-
how much? So he took the monkeys and other animals as well, or he just took? The
I think he
monkeys?
was helping other animals.
He's
break
like a
out.
modern day. He's like a modern day Noah.
Yeah.
Except-
Well, you know what's funny is they caught him on camera at a local aquarium walking around, and he had actually talked to a couple of the people about what was going on, a couple of workers, and he's just like he walked into one place.
Oh, they recognized him, right?
Yeah, so they had cameras. The guy didn't know at the time, but they
Yeah.
had him on camera, and he's asking one of the guys, and they're in an aquarium, and he's pointing at fish. He goes, "Which one of them are the biggest whores?"
Who in here is easy?
No, you know what you do.
I'm not a strong swimmer.
You
I'm not a strong swimmer. Which one of these is easy?
you-
I need somebody. I need one of them that ain't gonna put up a
No,
fight.
you let him out on a no cash bail, and then like he's going to do it again. But then you set it up so like the next one an animal he steals is like super poisonous. It's like super
Super.
Oh, they should
poisonous?
put him in the zoo.
super poisonous.
And the animals come see him.
Yeah.
So a feel good zoo story. So a few years ago at the San Diego Zoo, it was pretty funny. So
No,
a
that's
tiger,
amazing. That place is
a
amazing.
tiger
That is one of the
I-
coolest
I've-
places
I've
I've
never
ever
been there, but anyway, I heard it's cool. But yeah, so San Diego Zoo, there was a tiger, and I guess these like three teenagers were like antagonizing the tiger, and so this tiger jumped from a standing position like 12 feet, and was like got out of the enclosure, and I guess like mauled one of them to death, and like hurt the other two really bad before it was like recaptured.
With a 9-iron?
So we got.
No Tiger Woods.
Oh.
The tiger was super
Well, you said
drunk.
California.
Yeah, no, the tiger was super drunk. He got in a car and ran the three of them over. But here's the funny part about this. So the zoo director, after all this stuff was happening, he's saying, this is what he said. He had a press conference, right? He
Does
goes,
he have a big mustache?
yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. He
All
goes,
zoo director. It's a standard.
Obviously.
he said, we're gonna have to start doing a much better job. Ready? Of stopping people from stealing whatever they want. Yeah,
That's a good idea.
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was pretty hard to secure a zoo because I mean it's basically almost like just like a park, where you can still kind of walk in, and the animals might be secure, but you can actually walk onto the grounds, and there's nobody there at night. I don't know if they have like a night watchman. Maybe we should get that guy. Maybe get that guy from Rhode Island since he has a lot of free time on his hands.
Give him a pickup truck and a
Yeah.
couple of drinks.
Well,
and
you
let him
remember,
just run around.
well, you
shooting
remember
people.
the Brandmeier, the real story. That guy got in the Lincoln Park Zoo and fucked a cow.
Oh yeah,
That's a true story.
He did.
He did.
He did.
He woke up the next morning with the cow, and they were like, "Dude, this guy just fornicated with a
Did
cow."
he need a
Moo,
cig-
moo,
Did he need a
I
cigarette?
love
He needed a
you.
cigarette.
Brandmeier
He
wrote
needed
a song
cigarette.
about
He
it.
needed
I
a
know
cigarette
you're a
afterwards.
cow, but anything.
and he
to
tried to
do
do
is
it again.
say-
He got out and tried to do it again.
Well, he probably told him he was going to do it. He probably just went, "Yeah, I'm going to have more sex with more cows." And it's like, well, it's the '70s, so we're just going to let you out and do whatever you want. PETA is really pissed about this. Yeah, PETA is pissed because they said that they would need to prove that the monkeys.
They're all dead,
were-
right?
No,
The
they're-
monkeys? No, they're alive.
They're alive.
they
yeah,
are? Okay.
Yeah, but they want to talk to the monkeys to see if the sex was consensual. yeah, because that's not that's basically rape.
Well,
Monkey
didn't
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle have a joke a long time ago? Like he was like,
rape. Monkey rape?
no, he was talking about where AIDS came from, and he goes basically the whole story about AIDS is like some guy had sex with a monkey, and that's where the first case of human AIDS came from. And then so Dave Chappelle basically said, how strong a monkey is. If you tried to have sex with a monkey, it would like rip your dick off and whip it across the field. I mean, you think a
I don't
monkey's
know.
going to
That's- I think
voluntarily?
that's
I
like
don't.
a
I don't think
urban
that's real.
legend,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think that's real.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's just no. Why would you risk that?
It was a pig farm in the middle of China, like everything else.
Man,
that
why would
goes.
you risk that? Okay, so I found this, and this is kind of cool. I found this article that said that there are 11 habits. Are you ready? Of supremely happy people.
That's 10 too many, but go ahead.
No. Supremely, not just happy people. Supremely happy people. And I was wondering how many of these we have. How many of these habits we have. So, do you guys mind if I go through these a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. Are you guys ready? Mark, the first one is they say that
Don't say nose
supremely
picking. Don't say nose picking.
nose picking. No. Supremely happy people slow down to appreciate life's little pleasures.
Like Ferris Bueller?
You know what?
Life moves pretty fast.
Yeah,
Like smell the roses type of deal? Yeah,
I guess. Mark, do you slow down to appreciate life's little pleasures?
I do. I'm not even joking. I do.
Yeah, once in a while.
I'm
Not all the
corny
time, yeah.
about it, but I get teased about it all the time.
Well, who are you telling?
No, you don't tell anybody. It's just the way.
do it on your
It's a behavioral thing, you know. You just
When
stop
he's in
and-
Oregon, Illinois,
It's like,
hunting
stop.
groundhogs, hunting whistle pigs. Yeah.
Like the other day, my youngest was in the kitchen with his girlfriend, and they were studying. And I was like, man, I walked in the kitchen, and it was just really cool to see the two of them at the table. And
So that's a moment. Yeah,
I'm standing there, I'm like smiling, and he looks up, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You're just standing there staring at us." I'm like, and then I pull out my camera, and I took a picture, and then she starts laughing. They're really embarrassed. I'm like, "Listen, I can appreciate this moment, seeing you guys hanging out."
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
You
That's
know?
cool. Yeah, kind of bask in
No,
that.
that's here. I'll give you an example. I do the same
It was
thing.
funny. They had a laugh at it, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
I get that.
No,
Makes sense.
that's cool. So I was in Target about 2 weeks ago, and they're talking on walkie-talkies, and one of the girls is working there, and her walkie-talkie's on her little mobile thing right there, and I go, do you ever get on your walkie-talkie and just say, hey, I think there's a horse in here. Did anybody see that? And she goes, no. And I go like this. I go, I'm gonna do that. And she looks at me and she goes, what? I go, I'm going to pick up your walkie-talkie and I'm going to say, hey, everybody, I think I see a horse in here. And she goes, why? And I go, I just want to appreciate the little things. And I pick up her walkie-talkie and I go like this. I go, hey, I'm over here in women's clothing because I was standing. That's where I was standing. I go, did anybody see this horse? There's a horse in here. And I put it down and she goes, I'm going to get in trouble. I go, all right, good luck. And I just walked away. Is that appreciating the little
you should
things?
have said code red, code red, code red.
No, I thought it was way
Code
fun.
red.
Yeah, but I had
She
to
got
ask her.
fired, and now she lives here.
Well, it's a male voice. It's obviously a male voice on the walkie-talkie, so
But there were other male people in there talking back and forth. I just asked her, and I'm walking closer, and I pick it up, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and she doesn't say anything. She doesn't try to stop me, right? Because I'm obviously like, I'm a lunatic.
she's in shock.
No, she just says this. She goes, why?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey,
And then you
hey,
said,
man,
why not?
I got to do this. I got to do this. And I'm bringing it up closer to my face. And at no point is she making any effort. She's just like, okay, this fucking idiot's going to do this. And I don't want to get shot or, I don't want this place to blow up. I don't want him to pull open his vest and pull the pin.
Right.
Yeah. And I did it. And I just walked away.
You probably can't do that in this day and age. They don't know who you
Blow
are.
things up?
No.
I
Walk around stores the way you're dressed and not think you're going to freak somebody out.
I was dressed pretty normal-ish. I mean, is normal a word? You can't use normal as a word
No.
anymore, right? There's normal is like a bad word, right?
You don't go out in that vest and
What's
I've
the
always wanted to be a vest guy,
What's
not
the-
like a not like no no
he,
not
he
like a,
dresses
not
like Burt Reynolds on the Deliverance. He's
What-
got no shirt on and like a down vest on. He goes into Target.
What's the next habit?
dude.
Word of
Before I forget what
flannel.
we're talking about.
Eat shit, Ted. Yeah.
Oh, is that a habit?
Wait, what is he
Okay, you
saying?
ready? Ready? Okay, so another one of the 11 habits is they exercise. Ted,
Yeah.
I know you don't
I
exercise.
got to exercise more. Yeah. So
You got.
I need
Look,
to
you got to
exercise more,
exercise
too.
at all. You
I
said
exercise.
not exercise.
I worked out today.
Did you really?
I work out 2-3 times a week.
Yeah. Oh, 6 days a week. I don't work out on show days because I don't want to be tired.
I gotcha.
Yeah, because I really put a lot of effort
Yeah,
into
it's
it.
a lot of mental effort. Yeah. A lot of
No,
reps.
physical. It's
Yeah.
just there's literally physical effort that they do it. Okay. They spend money on other people.
Yeah, I spend
Yeah,
too much on
yeah.
other people.
Well, I do that.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm figuring they mean like hookers, right? Like on buy.
You're going to spend money on me tonight at Howard Street.
Am I?
Yeah.
Am I? Oh, okay. I am. Okay.
Watch a drink one time. One time. Just once.
Ted, usually you're too drunk to buy drinks. This is so great. Yeah, you being sober right now and drinking coffee is the most bizarre thing to me. Yeah. Are you out of coffee? Oh, I thought you were out of coffee already. No wonder you can't sleep. No wonder you can't sleep. You just drank the equivalent of 2 cups of coffee at like 6:30 at night.
You're right.
Okay, you ready? Now, this is the one I know that we don't do. They surround themselves with the right people.
I don't know any people.
Well, I mean,
I've been meaning to talk to you guys about.
yeah, I'm the wrong person. If you're hanging out with me, I'm the wrong
What's your
person.
definition of the right people?
I'm going to have to move.
The opposite
wink.
of me.
Wink,
How's
wink.
that? Yeah.
To separate me from the people that I know and hang out with, I'm going to have to leave the state. It's so hard for me.
Do you hang out with the wrong people?
I don't know. I wouldn't say wrong's the right word,
Wrong is the wrong.
So,
word.
okay, so I think
you don't want to hang out with
here's
like minds, right? You want to hang out with people that are
no, I think
smarter than you.
No, here's my definition of the wrong people.
Wait,
So Mark,
is that what you guys are doing? Because I ain't smarter than anybody.
So here's my definition of the wrong people. So Mark says to me, he comes to me, and goes, Ted, I'm thinking about investing in real estate. I said, Mark, that's a terrible idea. You're such a loser. God, that's a horrible. Don't ever do that.
That's your idea of the wrong person.
Oh yeah, but I guess the right person would say, hey Mark, that's a good idea, but you might want to look into a little bit. Get your feet wet. Do some studying first. And hey, good for you, Buckaroo.
I just listen to
up the good
Ted's
work.
tips.
Do you honestly feel like the right person says the word buckaroo? I feel like if you know anyone who says right now, if you're out
break
anywhere,
up with them.
yeah,
Break up with them.
Yeah.
What about
if they say buckaroo? Get the fuck out of that room.
What
as
about
fast as
what about
possible.
what about Kimosabi? Kimosabi. That's cool.
I feel like only one
Pretty
person
sure-
said
pretty
that,
sure
and
you
that was
can't
in the,
say that anymore.
Yeah. Oh no. I don't. What does kimosabi mean?
Apache.
Is that a phrase? Is that a phrase that
I'll
says?
have to Google that one. So.
Oh, that's probably your.
That was a Sugar Hill gang. Kimosabi. Jump on it.
I have no idea what that. I have no idea what that
dun.
is.
Okay.
That's probably Mark. Okay. You ready? Another one. They stay positive.
Yeah, I can see that.
Are you Ted? Are you positive?
I'm positive that I'm
Positive?
Positive
No,
that I'm
seriously. Do you keep yourself pretty positive?
I
mean,
try
are you?
to, yeah,
Are you
yeah.
are you like a guy like I guess that's like a glass half full kind of guy.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Yeah. Like to look in the brighter
Like
side
when
of
you
things.
when you get in the car and you're super drunk, you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna make it home. I got a good feeling I'm gonna make it home.
Drinking and driving is against the law, so I'm not sure what you're talking about, but that's why there's Uber.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure. This, you know what? I got a real good feeling about this. It ain't even raining, man.
50% sure that 100% I can make it home.
All right, now here's one I know Teddy doesn't do, but I don't know your habits because you don't share as much. They get enough sleep.
Yeah, easier said than done.
No, I get enough sleep.
You're a good sleepist?
I don't think I get, but there's a difference. So when I go to bed, I fall asleep right away. I'm out.
Wow.
Yeah,
My wife
same
is
here.
the same way, but that isn't always mean you're getting good sleep.
That's right.
Because I have a fucked up neck these past few months, and
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
think
you use that as an excuse to not do
I don't
something
think
the other day.
I'm going through physical therapy to fix it. I heard it at work, and I didn't think it was that big of a deal, and it just got worse and worse and worse. So I think I'm not getting what do you call it? Deep sleep.
That REM, that delta waves.
But how
that
does your
REM
neck?
sleep,
How does your neck hurting not mean you don't?
Because
get
I
good
roll
sleep?
over and I can
It
feel the
hurts.
pain, and I feel myself waking up, but I'm
Or
not
like
waking
your
up.
face
waking
being
up.
pushed into the pillow type roll over.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about these 11 habits of positive
Wait,
people.
hold on, Teddy. You don't sleep at all.
That's why I'm jealous. I'm like, you know what?
As he's sucking down more coffee, you're like,
Yeah, you're a terrible sleeper.
You know what? Fuck positive people. You know?
No, I mean we just got back, Mark. We just got back from Arizona, right? And Teddy and I were staying at a friend's house, right? We're sharing a room, separate beds this time.
It was like 5 feet apart, though.
Yeah, it got ugly last time.
I could
so-
see
Alpine Valley.
I could
oh,
see him.
yeah, but yeah. So I'm falling asleep. I'll wake up to go take a piss, and Teddy's in another room with his phone in front of his face. Yeah, I mean
that's not good. You know what? You know what keeps you up? Screen time.
screen time for sure.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
No, you didn't. So you never heard that? It's a yeah. We've been
that blue light?
It's that blue light. No,
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
it
Teddy,
actually it fucks with your brain, and it's hard to go to sleep.
I'm looking for ways to get a better night's sleep. So I actually read something where tart cherry juice is actually good before
Yep.
bed because it has a lot of melatonin in it. So I'm going to give
Why
that
don't you
a
just
try.
get some melatonin?
Pears too. Pears.
Oh, pears. Okay. Yeah.
And
Like a
and,
parrot.
And here, don't put your phone down for a solid hour before you're going to go to bed.
No, he's on his phone constantly. You
I know
see it.
you can't do it.
You see it all the
That's-
time. He's
No, I've done it. I've actually, you know what puts me to sleep? If I start reading a book, I'll be out in like 5 minutes.
but Ted, you've only read one book in your life. You told us you
Then
never
why don't you
read
just
books.
do that?
I'm going to start just reading the same book because I'm never going to get through it.
Do you guys take your phones up to your room with you?
I mean, I do for white noise. I sleep with white noise, so I just
We
put that
don't.
on.
Like my wife and I, our phones are downstairs. I've never in my entire life until my son went to college.
You want
So now I keep my phone down next to my bed. But until this past August, I never had. Or if both the boys are out still,
right?
or if they're sleeping over somewhere, I'd have the phone with me. But I never, in forever, since we have cell phones, never take it upstairs in my bedroom.
Well, you know what? The way I look at it, I can sleep all I want when I'm dead. All right, there you go. End of story.
That's
Next tip.
All right, let's go. Move on.
okay. They help others. Oh no, I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, yeah, they help others. Ted,
Do what?
anything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
Cross the street. Have you helped an old lady cross the street?
Well, number one, I'm not really walking around that much. I'm driving around most of the time. But yeah, I think.
Have you not run over an old lady crossing the street?
I've not done that. I mean, I've helped people. I mean, like give money to homeless people on the street. I mean, I've done.
You don't help anybody.
Donated to charity.
You're an enabler if you're giving homeless people money.
Yeah, so, Ted, you don't help anybody on a regular basis. Have you held the door open for somebody recently?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like here's the funny thing about door opening. It's a weird etiquette. So like, have you ever like? There's somebody behind you, and they're just far enough away where, like, if you held the door, if you stopped and held the door open, it would be
it's
almost like
for you.
That doesn't count.
So you don't want to help
others.
others.
So if you go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, okay, that's too much.
You just turn
Ted's
around.
like,
turn around, flip up.
I just helped an old lady shut the fuck up the other day. She didn't know how to shut up.
So you assisted her.
Right. Okay. Are you ready? This is the one that blew my mind. People who are supremely healthy have deep conversations. Yeah. Ever had Ted?
Next.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have. You know what? I don't have deep conversations with anybody.
What's like a deep conversation? Like, what's the meaning of life?
Yeah. And this
It's hard to have a
is
deep
the
conversation with you.
meaning
You're an
of life.
Where did the universe come from? What if we just went out into space and we just kept going? Where would we be? Is that a deep conversation, or
The only
Matt has deep text messages.
Yes. Well, the only way to have a deep conversation is if you're both super high. Right?
No.
What?
We're gonna do this tonight.
We're gonna have a meaningful. No, I'm not having a meaningful conversation with anybody.
I should do that like after
See?
the show.
See? He can't
we should
do it.
we
He's
should all do
incapable.
we should all do like an edible or something off air, of course, and then like see
We
see
don't
what
do
type
drugs,
of
Ted.
conversation.
Ted, we don't do
But if we did,
We don't
and
do
what type of
drugs.
conversation would we have? I'd be curious to see what you had to say, Mark.
You mean
I
like
probably
you mean
would
like
say
have I seen you super high? Yeah.
I haven't had the marijuana in 20 years. I
yeah.
don't know how I would react.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, but yeah, I just don't see
but what's the
deep conversation.
How does that does it end with "I love you, man"? Is that like what's the ending to a deep conversation? Because every conversation has to come to an end. So what's like an example of a deep
With
conversation?
total
That's a good
respect.
question. No, Ted, that's a good question because I'm thinking the same thing.
I love you, man.
And you know what? That's a problem.
Yeah.
That we don't know what a
We
deep
might
conversation
need
is.
We might need to have a therapist on this show.
to talk about our problems.
No, to explain to us
What's a deep? What's the definition?
like
well,
what's a
just-
meaningful deep conversation
what's the
and what is the benefits of it? Like
Yeah, because a deep conversation to me is like, hey, SpongeBob is making a sequel. That's deep, but to somebody else, it might be something. I mean,
well, he soaks up a lot of stuff.
yeah,
I know that.
he's a sponge. You got Squidward, you
Oh
got
my God.
Patrick. I mean,
Are they
there's a
making
lot.
another movie?
I wish they were.
Oh my God,
I love that
That
show.
is beyond my ability.
Should win
Okay,
the Academy
all right,
Award.
we got a couple more, and then we're gonna put this thing to bed.
I have a friend who won't let their kids watch SpongeBob.
Oh no, dude. You realize SpongeBob he's a total socialist. Yeah, SpongeBob
it's
is a
not
socialist.
like it's going to brainwash the kids.
I don't know. I'm just making that up. I don't know what
Socialist, I
SpongeBob
don't
is.
know. Yeah.
Doesn't he make food?
Yeah, I don't know.
He makes
He
food.
works for the Krusty Krab. He doesn't make anything.
Yeah, he lives with
lives
a
in a
guy.
shell. He lives in a
Oh,
shell.
wait a minute.
You
Wait
know,
a
he
minute.
lives in a
Are there
shell.
any chicks in this entire show?
There are.
There's
There
a
are some-
squirrel. Yeah. What's her name?
A squirrel.
Mr. Krabs is his boss. The lobster. Mr.
I don't know,
Krabs.
man. There's a lot of
Mr.
dudes.
Mr. Krabs.
like crabs.
What's his teacher's name's the Blowfish.
Listen, no, I don't condone that. I will not condone that. Okay, so a couple more, and we're gonna get this. We're gonna put this thing to bed. You ready? They make an effort to be happy. Do you make an effort to be happy?
Like a conscious effort.
A conscious
Every
effort.
time I open a beer.
Yeah. No, I feel like I always make an effort to be happy.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to.
Because I always do stupid shit. Like I'll always, if I'm in a store or at a place, I will literally go and talk to someone to make myself happy. Yeah, I will not necessarily make them happy, but I will absolutely say and do stupid shit to make myself happy.
So it sounds like you're just more like out to amuse yourself at the expense of others.
They page yourselves.
I make
We
myself.
got to clean up in aisle 5. Oh, sorry, I got to go. That was just you.
So here's one of my things. I'll walk up to like a stop sign and I'll smack the stop sign with my hand and make it look like I hit my head, and then I'll hold my head and I've had people come to you okay? Like
Just shit I did when I was 15, 16.
Yeah, and I still do that now. I still do now. And I picked up some woman's
you have a
walkie-talkie
ketchup
and
pack?
said there was a horse in a Target. Yeah, I don't care. I just do whatever I'm going to do, and the weirder it is, the happier I am. Yeah, absolutely, the happier I am. Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Teddy, who were the guys that I was trying to get the guy was trying to get a rise out of? Oh, we were at Moretti's.
We were at a bar, and there was a guy sitting, and he was like
two guys.
There were two guys, but then there was one guy. One guy left. There was just one guy.
Yeah, but there were two guys sitting there,
Yeah.
and they were talking about how great Trump is, and how the Republicans are this and that, and so I had to immediately just be like, man, you know what? The world isn't racist enough, I mean,
well, you weren't talking to them; you were talking.
Well,
to
I was
me.
doing it to be. I was
so
saying
they
it to
could
them.
hear
But
you.
I'm like, I go, damn it! I go, you know what we need? I go, we need more racism and less homosexuals. Wouldn't the world be a much better place? And this guy, and then I'm like, you know what though? No. I go, let's just do the opposite. I go, I wish everyone was a homosexual. And this guy is just his fucking brain. You can see his face. He's fighting the urge. Because Teddy and I are sitting, he's fighting the urge to look over and go, no homosexuals and more racism. And I'm like, oh.
But he didn't take the bait.
He wanted to so bad.
You were leading him there.
I can't stand when people bring up politics and stuff like that in bars and in public where you could hear it. I have to leave, man.
Especially sports. I hate when they bring up sports in bars. It's like
fine.
the worst.
No, I can't.
Somebody started talking to me about the
people.
Super Bowl. I was like, come on, man.
Yeah, I guess I kind of get like that too. Yeah,
I can't. The Super Bowl. It's kind of a big deal, Ted. Okay, so last one, and this is the one that makes no sense to me whatsoever.
That's why it's number one.
But then I got the definition, and it made more sense. People are supremely happy, have a growth mindset, and all that means is they can change. Do you guys feel like you've changed yourself recently? Like in the last 10 years, you're a different person.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, sometimes, change happens with or without you. So, I mean, if you don't change,
But you cannot change.
You cannot change.
Teddy, we have friends.
Oh,
that
dude,
have
there's
not
guys.
changed.
Yeah,
they're stuck in. Yeah, they're stuck in a
Yeah.
bygone
And you
era.
know what? No, you're right, and they're miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
all they do
kidding
is
you.
complain.
All they do is
All they do is complain. It was way better back then, and these people
it's
doing
all-
this,
But
and those
you
people.
know what's funny? It probably wasn't way better back then, but they just think it was because they romanticize something that never existed. It's that magical thinking where you think it's like the girl who liked you in third grade, and it's like, oh, that was my soulmate, and now she's gone.
She was hot.
Yeah, you know what? And she never liked you to begin with. You just thought she did because she said hi to you one time, but then over the years, you kind of had that magical thinking where she really liked me more than she really did, and that's why she's married to another guy now and has 8 kids.
Yeah,
because you were her soulmate.
And they think they were happy.
Then how come she ain't with you?
I remember snapping her brow when she first got boobies. She loved that shit.
They think they were happy back then, but they really
They were
weren't.
never
They're
were.
the
Yeah.
same- They were the
you know,
same
you know,
back
you know what
then.
happened? They peaked, and they just been like in a like just a flat line ever since.
Yeah, but I mean, I like to think that I've changed. I think I mean, just literally in the last few years, I feel like I've changed, man. I really do. I feel like I'm way more acceptable of things, like things that I like. I was just like, oh man, this ain't working for me. I'm throwing stuff at my dog to get the dog out of here because it's trapped in the basement. But yeah, I feel like I'm just like, you know what? Just because I think something is right or wrong doesn't mean it's right or wrong, right?
Yeah, well, people in general.
Wrong.
Well, people in general, like for example, if there's something they don't understand, they automatically reject it because they just have no concept of it, or it just doesn't comport with their belief system. But yeah, just because I don't understand astrophysics, but it obviously is something that's very viable.
Ted, that's the devil. It's the devil's playground.
That's my line when I talk to somebody. I'm like, just because you don't understand it doesn't mean that you're fucking right.
Yeah.
Just because you can't grasp, and it's usually older people, like older neighbors.
It
You
is.
just nod your head and you're like, yeah, yeah.
Well, I actually
That's
read this.
not a thing.
I read this about Queen
not
Elizabeth
real.
before she died. She
was real old.
She was like elderly old. She was like 98 old. But anyway, so here's a woman who lives in Buckingham Palace in she lives in a bubble that's within another bubble.
Yeah.
So what they said about her is she still thought it was the 1950s. That's how insulated she was from the world. Oh man, she thought it was like the 1950s, which was like maybe the peak of her life, and everything after that has just been
Yeah, no,
whatever.
No, dude, I get it. I get it. Like I said, I feel like I have friends that are much more progressive. They've kind of changed their views, and I have friends that are just literally just stuck in the past. And there's nothing that you can do that won't say that MASH was the greatest show, and FDR was the greatest president, and there's boys and girls, and that's all there ever will be.
There's
and
4-minute abs.
Yeah, not
three.
three.
There's
Not-
3 minute.
No, man, not 3.
Oh, they're
not
still
3.
stuck on a 4-minute.
3-minute abs.
Still stuck on 3-minute abs. All right. Wow. So I would say that you know what? There's a decent chance that we are not supremely happy. Yeah, there might be nobody on this show might be separately.
I think we're just like mediocre.
mediocrely.
just like we're not like sad.
So we got to come up with a thing.
We're just not giddy.
The 12 things that make people mediocrely happy. Yeah.
I'm gonna come up
In
with that.
Chicago, it's got to be like a regional thing. It's all relative.
It does, because I would imagine if you live like on a beach somewhere and it's nice every day,
complaining
you're just
about
like
your different things than we
you're
are.
like, oh man, I make an effort to be happy. Fuck you. I get to go out on the beach every day and watch the sunset.
I was in Southern
Key
Illinois
West.
visiting family, and they're like, I'm like, where are we going? Well, how far is the pizza place? They're like, it's like 20 minutes, but sometimes it could take like 23, 24 minutes. I'm like, so usually it's like 20 minutes, and then if it's bad, it's like 23 minutes. I'm like, yeah, no, dude, it takes us an hour to travel 6 miles.
Yeah. Well, if you go to the wrong place, yeah.
This pina colada only has, one slice
Yeah.
of pineapple in it, as opposed to 2 yesterday. So it's not going to be a good
I'll
day.
tell you what, I
That's
love
a bad day.
I love a good pina colada, and
Well,
and,
it
and I
sounds
will
like you'll be having one soon.
I will tell you this: I did this again, and we're putting this to bed. But one of my favorite movies of all time is Running Scared.
Love
with Billy Crystal
Yep.
and Gregory Hines,
yeah.
and the Chicago cops,
Yep.
and they get in trouble, and they got to go, and they go to Key West, right? And they're doing the thing. Hey, what's everybody doing? They're looking out at the ocean. And he goes, what's the matter? Was there a boat crash or somebody die? And she goes, no. This hot chick in a bikini. She goes, we're watching the sunset. He goes, why? She goes, look, we do it every day. And he's just like, damn. I want to be the guy who watches a sunset every day on the ocean. I feel like that would make me, like, I wouldn't need any of these other 11 things. What's the one thing you do? Every night, I grab a pina colada and I watch the sunset.
He's becoming Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, man, that'd be a good life. Okay, let's put this thing to bed. Teddy, last thoughts. You are first, sir.
This tour has been very adventuresome, and I've actually learned a lot. So I appreciate that.
What the? Are you writing down what you've learned? You're writing something
I'm
down.
just
Drawing
scribbling.
boobs.
Just
I'm
scribble.
scribbling.
You just
Right.
more
I'm
boobs.
drawing
Drawing
boobs.
boobs.
That's
Drawing
all you
boobs.
guys ever
Drawing-
draw is
drawing
boobs. Okay, Mark,
Well,
last thoughts.
this is my last thoughts are very. I wrote this down, and now it's topical, man. And listen, if you don't like the world you're living in, take a look around. At least you got friends.
Oh, I thought you said
Those-
change it. I thought
No,
you were gonna say
that's
change it,
that's a line from the movies.
And
That's
if
a
the
line from a
elevator
song.
tries to bring you down, go crazy. Punch a higher floor.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that if you love
Prince
something,
was a genius.
if you
Prince
love
Prince
something,
was a genius, dude.
if you love something,
Prince was a genius.
If you love something, set it free. And if it doesn't come back, hunt it down and kill it. Is that what you're going to say?
That's the other verse. Yeah.
Free. All right.
Isn't that great? Let me. If you don't like the world you're living in, take a look around. At least you got friends.
That
I mean, that's just so
no,
simple.
You know what? I will tell you this. The key to life, and I've said this on a lot of different shows, is friends, man. That is the key to life is just having friends, having somebody to talk to, being able to say whatever you want to say.
Wait, what's the first thing you said?
whoever.
You said if you don't like the world you live in, move to a brothel in Thailand. I thought that's what you were going to say.
A brothel in Thailand. Yeah.
and make all those women your friends.
Or an opium den in China. I don't know.
Visit a zoo.
But not the Lincoln Park Zoo. Visit a zoo where there's animals. All right, listen, man. I'll tell you what. I was a little bummed out when we started the show because our guest for today did not show up. He had a family emergency. And
Oh, you know who we need to call now?
his family,
No, their rival. The party animals.
the party animals.
Or if when they come on, because that show that you guys canceled on, we had the party animals on. Really interesting.
all right, well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we'll get to reschedule. Listen,
I'm teasing.
things happen.
Yeah, I know.
I never, you know what? When we have a guest on and it works, or like last week,
We'll
when
get them
something
back
didn't
on.
work,
I love that whole concept.
Yeah, so do I.
I
so
can't
do I.
wait
So
to talk to them.
hopefully we'll set it up. We got a lot of cool things coming up, as long as, things are here. But I tell you what, man, I just love bullshitting with you guys, and I'm super excited. Ted drew a penis on a piece of paper, and he made an effort to show me right now. I don't understand why.
Look like a penis
He's,
in
he's,
motion.
he's lying.
A
He's
penis
lying.
emoji?
He's-
in motion.
He's lying.
Emotion. Oh, yeah. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay. Listen. Have a great day. Have a great week. Keep listening. Oh, if you freak out because you're going to hear advertising, you know what? We're making some money now. So we're going to have a little bit of advertising on. Hopefully, we're going to have a few more sponsors. And just get used to it, man. That's shit happens, and it's all about trying to be millionaires. I haven't won the lottery, so because Ted keeps picking shitty numbers, yeah. So that's not going to happen. But listen, enjoy. We will see everybody next week. I'm going to spend the weekend in Miami, so I'm going to come back.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to come back real happy.
Congratulations, Jackie.
Yeah. That's so bad. I know that's going to come back and bite me in the ass. I know it's going to come back and bite me in the ass.
It's going to be a fucking great show when it does.
Oh, fuck you. All right. Have fun, and we will see everybody next week, man.